What's going on, y'all? So listen. So we are back. We are back. We are back for part two of the Bobby Brown story. Or did he wear a condom? Bitch, you should have wear a condom. Listen, Bobby Brown got so many goddamn kids. It was real cute at the end to see that was his son Cassius. Doing the little dance and stuff. That was cute. But I just got ahead of myself. I just literally got through watching. It's 12:24 at night. In the morning, I should say. I'm tired. All right, but I will say, even though the Bobby Brown story did not give me the feel of the New Edition story, it still was a good biopic, miniseries, whatever, that they put together for BET. For BET, because y'all know BET is literally hit or miss, okay? But they did a good job. I'll give this, once again, an 8 out of 10 because it was some things that I was looking at kind of crazy, cross-eyed, like, girl, what? Okay. It started off, he done got into a car crash. They done trying to figure out if he was drunk. 9 out of 10, he was drunk and under the influence, because next thing you know, we see him on the bus. Him and Whitney. Whitney just sitting there like everything is all good, and they got the drugs out. He flipping out, thinking people finna kill him, especially Whitney, running up on some white man's porch, and he got a gun in his hand too. And I was like, listen, both y'all got guns, and this could have ended real bad, okay? Now, this makes me really want to go read his book and see what the heck everything is going on. And I don't know. Once again, this is his truth. It's unfortunate that Whitney is not here to say her truth. All I'm going to say is after this biopic, please let this be the end of all the biopics for Whitney and Bobby and anything else, especially Whitney, okay? Don't mention Whitney no more. Let her rest. Leave her alone, okay? They running after him, and we see, Ricky, Bobby, Mike, Belleville, DeVoe. Elijah Kelly character. Which one did he play in New Edition? Not Ricky. Not Girl, y'all know which one. He was the one that was on the bus with them. Okay, and mind you, this thing, I think this was probably around the time where he was doing drugs too. Because if you remember on the Bobby, not the Bobby Brown, but the New Edition movie, he had a drug overdose in the movie as well. And then when they calmed that down, oh boy was like, "You Whitney Houston?" Because she come running out in the field too, trying to calm him down. They go running back on the bus. I said, I know he was like, "Look at these niggas." Okay, look at these niggers with a hard R. Okay, but we see this other scene that's more important. I said, is he on the stove cooking crack? Is he on the stove cooking crack? I thought Whitney said crack was whack, okay? But he had the little senator up in the pot, okay? And then he just had his little fixing right there. Y'all know he used to be a drug dealer, so he would know about all this stuff. Next thing you know, Whitney is talking about something. You got my stuff ready? You got my stuff ready? Girl, she come, first of all, he walks over and he just go, I said, wait a minute, that don't look like no drug overdose. Because when the first part started off, it started off with him going to the hospital and he's on a stretcher and he talked about he's about to die and all this stuff. That's what it's pick up at. We see how he got there. This is when he had his stroke. Baby, he could have had a drug overdose. He could have been dying. He probably was. He was dying on that floor. Whitney came, you got my stuff? You got my stuff? When she did this, took me clear out. Took me clear out. And she was like, bitch, you playing. Get up off the floor. No, bitch, you breathing. Okay. Boy, I said, Whitney was high as hell. Okay, to not even realize that your man need help. All right, he is on the floor. He ain't blinking. He barely breathing. And you talking about something. You good. Girl, get into the hospital. This is when she claimed they gonna not do no drugs no more. But, of course, that don't happen. Um, this is when he started to have the stroke, whatever. And to show that he had the stroke, because y'all know Bobby Brown has like a crooked mouth. Instead of showing it so crooked, they put something in his mouth right here, and you could see it to make it look like it was a little bit crooked, but you could see the little inflection right there. But they go on vacation, then the cops come get them. He get arrested, he go to jail, he's going through withdrawals, he trying not to mess up. You had an inmate in there that supposedly tried to help him, encourage him not to get back on that mess. Somebody tried to sell him some stuff. That dude was good because he threw up on that floor and he could have stepped in it and he went on ahead and cleaned it up for him. I said, nigga, get your ass down here. I don't care how much your stomach hurt. Clean this shit up. clean, you got the whole motherfucking thing up in here just stinking. Clean this up. Clean this up or I'll whoop your ass, okay? I will whoop the drugs out of you. You know, but hey, you got some good people in this world, okay? And so we see the part where, remember the classic part when Bobby gets out of jail and Whitney is standing outside waiting for him. They don't show that part necessarily when she jumps into his arms and he carrying her and all that stuff. But they had it down to the T, to the headband that she was wearing, to the tank top that she was wearing, and the jeans. And then we see him holding her and putting her in the car because she's still wrapped around him. You know, I said, oh, and then she trying to feed him drugs and stuff. So basically what they're trying to say is Bobby cleaned himself up for the most part, and he was not trying to go back down that road, but Whitney didn't care. Okay, Whitney was like peer pressuring him to go ahead and start the drugs again. I mean, okay, you know, if that's what you want to feel. You know, Bobby got to get some work. He gonna start performing again before he can even do something. He get arrested again because he don't have his license or registration. And then this is the time where I'm not gonna say I'm mad, but a part of me, since they put one part up in the show, a part of me wish they would have did the Diane Sawyer interview, okay, and not show us the aftermath when he showed up. So they give us some backstory on the reason why he was looking the way that he was looking. I had no idea he had just went to jail the night before. Whitney didn't bail him out, and so he had to spend the night in jail. And then when he comes back up, she was in the midst of doing this Diane Sawyer interview. Now, if you didn't see that infamous Diane Sawyer interview, you've seen them both on there. She's hoarse. This is after the Michael Jackson special, where we saw her looking skinnier than usual, and where she did the infamous "Quack is whack. I make too much money to do crack. Crack is whack." You know, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And he come in and he's stumbling over the stuff that he's supposed to be saying. He's sweating like a dog and everything. I'm sweating too. It's hot as hell up in here. Okay. But yeah, I was just like, so he tried to explain it as if it was just sprung upon him and he didn't want her to do the interview and all this stuff, which turns out to be the worst thing that she did to make it. It's almost as if throughout this movie, when it comes to Whitney, it's like, especially in the second part, it's minimizing his role a little bit in certain things when it comes to her and making it seem as if Whitney was the main one doing a whole bunch of this stuff. Okay. It was this one part where he was drunk as heck. He was supposed to be going out of town. Whitney was just, trying to get him out the house, and then he leaves, then come back. She done got the drug dealer in the house. He done got in trouble for that because he done fought him. And, it was just like, just seeing the demise of the relationship and how he accidentally hit her, and then we see this is when I guess she had called the cops on him for hitting her. And we see that according to Bobby, he wasn't trying to hit her. It was an accident in the melee of fighting this drug dealer. Okay. And he was in jail even though she wasn't pressing any charges. And so this is while he was in jail, his brother presents him with the idea of doing the Bobby Brown movie. Not movie, but reality show. Let me just tell you this. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. Being Bobby Brown was one of the first reality shows that was on Bravo TV. Okay? One of their first reality shows. And that was comedy gold. Okay? I don't care what you say, baby. I always go back and I look at when I need my spirit to be uplifted. Girl, I go back for a good laugh and watch them too. I don't care how dysfunctional, and it's a shame because they were very dysfunctional and not good for each other to a certain point. But when they was on that show, the show was just hilarious, and I actually liked them being together, showing their goofy side and everything. That was when we got that classic with Whitney in the car singing, what is it, Black Eyed Peas? Shut up, just shut up. Shut up, just shut up. You know that. And they did the most infamous scene out the whole series. When they went on that trip and they was in a gift shop and Bobby was getting that preparation H, not for his ass, but for his eyes, okay? And they was doing that, Bitch, I said, I know they did it. And they did that to the T. I was so here for it. I said, look at this. Look, that is a precious gem that needs to be protected, okay? You know, that was cute. That was cute. And basically, according to his brother, the brother was like, you can have Whitney in it if you want to, but people want to see you. This is about you. So if she don't be in it, it don't matter. If she want to be in it, let her be in it. But then when the show airs and, she gets the reports back from different critics all over, they not here for it, and she's in her feelings about it. They get into this big argument. And basically, she basically telling him, my life ain't been shit since you've been in it, okay? People looking at me all different, like I'm, on some mess or whatever, and saying that you no good for me. And then he was like, people was telling me all the time that I'm no good for you, and they called me a thug and talking that I'm a leech. And when he cracked his voice, when he said, they think I'm a leech, I was like, oh, okay, he kind of felt that. He was like, I let that pass because I felt like you didn't care about that. But hearing you say that now, it is what it is. So he didn't have to move on. This is the demise of their relationship, I guess, when they separate. And the Alicia chick from the first part, when I said I didn't know who she was, and y'all was like, that's supposed to be his new wife. I said, so this bitch been around hovering all these years, laying low in the cut until it was her turn to swoop in. I said, girl, y'all, determination, okay? Determination. She done weasel her way into being a manager, you know. Poe Rainer paying Bobby Christina, you know what I'm saying? She up there smoking and stuff, and I was like, they tried to make it seem as if Bobby was the stern parent and Whitney Houston was the very lax parent, letting her do whatever it is that she wanted to do, letting her smoke, letting her drink, or whatever. And he was telling her, no, you can't do this. She was like, why can't I do it? He was like, bitch, because you're a child and I'm a grown up, so that's why. I said, technically speaking, none of y'all need to be doing all that smoking and stuff. I hate when I see singers smoking. Okay, that messes up your instrument. Then, Alicia dealing with him. Girl, you thought it would be different. You thought he was going to change 100%. He's still drinking and doing stuff, just like he did with Whitney. You talk about something, I'm not Whitney. Girl, you sure not. Okay? But you kind of putting up with the same shit. I'm just saying. Okay? She gets pregnant. They got to deal with that. And see him actually going back on the road performing and getting with the some of his band members. In between that time they get back together and do certain things, and then we find out that his father has lung cancer. Then we also find out that the mother has COPD, and while he's performing with his band members, him and Alicia had the baby. Okay, I think it was Cassius. Had Cassius, and then he proposed to her on stage, and he gets a phone call saying that he needs to come to the hospital. And I hated the way that, don't call me and tell me something. Just get here. You gonna make my nerves so bad when you do stuff like that. I have to drive, or I'm gonna be having an anxiety attack trying to get there, and then just tell me what it is, okay? Don't let me have to guess, because my mind gonna be running ragged as it is. You telling me to come to the hospital. Obviously it's something really, really wrong. So yeah, girl, I ain't like that part. But it happens, and he finds out that his mom died. He thought something was going on with his dad. And it was like, right after his mom died, we see Whitney at the funeral, and she sings a song. I saw the actual clip of that, and she sang down. She really did. And then shortly after the mom died, he gets words that, his father died. And when his father dies, he getting ready to go back on tour and hook up with the whole New Edition crew. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he get word that Whitney passed away. And he's trying to get in contact with Bobby Christina. And, at one point he did have her. Then it was like Tommy took his hour for her. She went to the bathroom and they came in and took her. When it comes to the whole part about the shady shit that went on the side of the Houston family, I believe it. After looking at On Their Own, the Houston family reality show, and the way that they were so lax, it just made me think, and I don't even know if this is 100% true. It's just his version of the whole events that happened. You know, he not being able to get in contact with Chrissy, and then when we finally get in contact with her, you see her at the funeral for Whitney and still not being able to see her. And then he reconnecting with her 2 years later and having it planned out that she's gonna come out there to do music, and then she goes through this whole thing where she's in a coma for 6 months. It makes me feel like I'm gonna pose the question to y'all. Do y'all think that, given that they were working on their relationship, do you think she would have had a better chance of still being here if she would have been able to be with her father? But then you have to also, wait a minute, you have to also factor in that she wasn't grieving properly, and she was in that stage where she's an adult, she can do whatever she wants. So how do you feel about that? Because I was thinking about that. The way that they're making it feel is like the Houston side of the family was just really laxed on her, and you saw that in their reality show, like I said earlier, letting her do whatever. And when they showed that scene when they was at Whitney's funeral, I remember that so clear. I remember the little boy Bobby Jr. coming out, and he was standing at their car and he was breaking down crying because they kicked him out. And I remember looking at them on being Bobby Brown. Them kids love Whitney just as much as they love their own mama. Okay, as if she was their own mama. So the Houston family always put a nasty taste in my mouth for the way that they handled that whole situation at that funeral. And then when they was in there and trying to, make decisions on Chrissy's behalf, when it was supposed to be the father that's doing this, and Sissy with her attitude, girl, I believe some of that. And having Bobby Christina passed away, and all of that, and it was just tough. And seeing him try to get his life back on track, and him opening up different foundations and getting his food line, it was a happy ending at the end, with him not reverting back to his old habits instead of getting new habits that's more healthier for him. And I don't know if they're trying to put out there that the new wife is much more his speed and better for him than Whitney was. I don't know. But I will say Bobby Brown went through a whole bunch. Okay, he went through a whole bunch of death. Like, can you imagine going through all that death in your life? You lost your friend, you lost another friend. That's two friends right there that we seen in the show. You lost your parents, you lost Whitney, you lost your child. Man, that's just a lot that for one person to handle. But like I said, I don't know. I'm teetering between 7.5 and 8 out of 10 to give this part 2. Okay. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about the whole thing. Do you believe most of this stuff? Okay, because I get it that, he put out a book and he put some of this stuff. Let's discuss the Janet Jackson thing right quick. Y'all would not let that die, okay? Y'all would not let that die. Baby, I'm not that old, okay? So I was a child, like a baby, back then when they was in this age where they was supposed to be messing around, okay? So I ain't know nothing about this. Then all of a sudden, after this come out, a whole bunch of stuff just started coming out, and I was sitting here like, Janet, okay, well, you did mess around with Jermaine Dupri, so now that makes sense. Now that she was with Jermaine Dupri, I'm sitting here like, well, damn, that makes no sense. Okay, you like your semi-bad boys, your bad boys, whatever. It is them good girls and them PK kids and all that. They be the main ones that be going on the opposite side of the fence. You just never know, girl. I said, They saying that he kicked her out into a hotel room, out the hotel room bucket naked, but they didn't put that in there. Listen, I just want to know if Janet Jackson got beat. I know she gonna be on Black Girls Rock, okay? I just want to know, do she got BET at home, okay? And did she sit there and DVR this and watch the first part? Girl, Janet, you doing good. Don't respond, because y'all playing her. Y'all are trying her in her comments, asking her, did she see the show, okay? Let it go, all right? But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all felt about the first 2 parts. These 2 parts, because it's only 2 parts of the show. And if there was a person, since we're in the spirit of doing biopics, who do you think should have the next biopic? I want to see one with Mary J. Blige, because baby, they show that stuff with her and Casey. All right, I would say Destiny Childs, but that ain't gonna never happen. But cause ain't nobody willing to tell the 100% truth. I already know that, and you know, as secretive, no shade to Beyonce and them, but as secretive as they are, girl, she'll have to be gone before they do that. I'm just saying, let's be honest, okay? Who else would I want to see a biopic? I would want to see a biopic with Janet, you know, but we have to get somebody that can talk. I don't know how much I can take somebody fake whispering. Let me stop. Fake soft talking. Let me stop. Let me leave her alone. Okay, anyway, moving on. Y'all put that in the comments. Who would y'all like to see a biopic on? All right. And I will see y'all later. Peace.